Is up, Hardcore Nation? It's Hardcore Christopher here. And I've done two videos now. One on the death of a loved one, and two on men hitting women. And I give my advice. Now I'm gonna do one on divorce, and that I know a thing or two of. My family's gone through two of them. One with my parents in 2004, and the other with my aunt and uncle in 2018. Okay. I'm going to start off by saying this. Marriage is sacred. Marriage is a special time. It's a special opportunity. You know, your marriage vows that you say, marriage, however, it's, and marriage statistics in this day and age can prove that. Based off of LUV, not LOVE. Not LOVE, but LUST. And you may be saying, well, they're the same thing. No, they're not. Love is worth weight. Lust will not. Now, I did a Facebook live stream on this, and a lot of what I said there, I'm going to repeat. You know, it boggles my mind on how come there are divorces nowadays. But divorce happens. The number one cause for divorce is financial, or the number one cause of divorce is that people don't love, that the people got, like, let's say a couple got married 12 years ago, and in those 12 years, a lot of things went good and a lot of things went bad, and circumstances happened that neither one could control. But in that 12th year, one of them, let's say, I guess it doesn't really matter. One of them, whether it be the husband or the wife, decides, you know what? I've had it. Being married to so-and-so for 12 years, and I want to move on. So they so let's say the wife gets served with divorce papers. Then so they both show up to divorce court and they both say their sides. And the judge determines that the husband wants the divorce, but the wife does not. Well, the husband's already bound and determined that he wants to leave, and so after the court, he goes through with the divorce proceedings. And what is the definition of a divorce? For those of you that don't know, the definition of divorce is the termination of a marriage. That's what a divorce is. Now, I wanna bring up a couple key points. There are countless ways to try and marriage without divorce being an option. And I'm not saying let it be the last option. So many times it's that the people that are married get into an argument, and in that moment they forget that the entire reason why they got married is because they loved. It wasn't for fame, it wasn't for fortune. It was because they loved one another. You see, love is patient. Love will not boast. Love isn't boastful. Lust is. So, what's the difference between love and lust? And why do marriages not last in that lustful sense? Okay. Let's say that all the husband thinks about is sex. From sunup to sundown, he wants sex from his wife. And finally, the wife goes, okay, we're not having sex tonight. Guess what? He will bounce. He will leave. And he'll find some other woman to give him what he wants. Stop right there. You see, lust is not patient. It is very, very boastful. Lust does not seek commitment. And that's what a marriage is. A marriage is two people saying that we are committed to one another for life. So a divorce. Why is a divorce Why is a divorce? Why would divorce even be on the table then? Because divorce should be the last option, but it's sad because the last option becomes the first option when the first option should be the last option. So basically what I said is that divorce should be the last option. But divorce becomes the first option instead of divorce being the last option. Let's say you do everything that you can do and you're tired of hearing the same old, and your man or your woman won't step up and prove to you that they really want this to work. You can tell them to hit the road. Because let me tell you something. If they're not going to commit to you, why should you commit to them? Now, as far as relationships go, there is one thing I need to say. Well, several things. In a relationship, you should get to know one another first, then have a child. Well, no. You should get to know one another. So, the dating period. Then after your dating period, you go to you talk about marriage, then you get married, then you go on your honeymoon period, then you have offspring. But that's not what happens nowadays, unfortunately. Unfortunately, people get into relationships and they have a child, then they end up getting married. That is the wrong order altogether. Why bring a child into this world if you're not even married? It is a sin to have children out of wedlock, which is out of marriage. Another thing is, if the man has a history of sleeping around, or if the woman has a history of sleeping around in your relationship, look, you may think that person's for you, but I'm here to tell you that once you get married to someone like that, they're not going to change just because you're married. And why? Because if they truly had respect for you and the relationship that they were in, they would not sleep around. Plain and simple. So, in other words, don't marry someone like that. because at the end of the day, you can do so much better than someone like that. I think one of the saddest things is that when someone divorces someone, they don't think about the repercussions. They don't think about the consequences. Because I'm here to tell you, divorce ruins people. Divorce ruins people's lives. Divorce ruins families. I think the saddest thing is to see people that were married 20, 30, 40, I'm going to top the year. I'm going to put a cap on the year, and I'm going to say 40 years. Let's say a couple has been married 30 years. Then they decide to get a divorce. Look, I'm here to tell you that divorce is, first off, marriage is supposed to be forever. Marriage is supposed to be that bond that two people have until one of them dies. And that's the only way to get out of marriage, as far as I am concerned, until one of you passes away. Then now let me get to, and the reason why I think it's sad that a couple that's been married for 30 years would want a divorce is that, basically what you're saying when you get a divorce is that everything that we have ever gone through in our marriage didn't mean anything to me. Another thing is that another thing about, I'm going to get down to the meat of the situation right now. Okay. Your wedding vows. Your marriage vows. You say everything, and the last vow you say is till death do us part. Okay. So, okay. The only way I can describe this is if, let's say, a high school student graduates from high school and he rips it up. Does that change the fact that he is still graduated? No. It just means that everything is that half of your life that you spent getting that diploma to you because you just tore up your diploma. You disrespected all the hard work that you did. And with a marriage license, with your wedding vows, what you're basically doing when you go for a divorce is you are saying that the wedding vow, everything that I said, is a lie. You just said it to say it. You didn't mean it. So not only does divorce ruin families, affect people in a negative sense, but what divorce does is that you throw away your marriage, you throw away everything, you just basically say that I'm throwing this in the trash, basically like an empty ketchup bottle. You get done using it and it's empty, and you throw it in the garbage because it's no good. That's basically what a person's doing when they go for a divorce. And this is going to be my last thing, and then I'm going to do my outro, and I'm going to get out of here. The last thing I want to say is divorce is not worth it. If you can stick it out to the bitter end. It'll get worse before it gets better. Also, basically when someone goes for a divorce, you're disrespectful to your marriage, and you're disrespectful to your family as well. So, that's all I gotta say. And wow, this video has ran longer than I thought, longer than I intended, but I got all my thoughts out, and that's all that matters. I'm Hardcore Christopher. Keep it hardcore, everyone.